guys, go see our friend Badgertronix at Badgertronix HQ. G'day, welcome back. Today we're going to be fitting some Xvision rear parking sensors onto a 2012 Ford Mondeo Estate. So here we go. Right, so this is the Xvision parking systems rear parking sensor kit. This is the one that is fitted or was fitted by the Ford dealers. As you can see, it's got a Ford part number, a finish number. So should be a decent quality kit. I got it cheap, but that's okay. So in the box, what do we got? We got 4 sensors, and they're all actually kind of marked as to their location, which is kind of weird. Got the module itself, and there is an optional LED display that we don't need. We just want it to go beep before we go crash. Got some instructions. I'm sure we won't need. We've got a cables to connect the sensors. We've got a power cable with a red, black and a blue. We'll go through why that is later. And we've got our buzzer. So yeah, that's what's in the box, that's what's going on in the car. Next we need to work out where we're going to put those sensors. Right, so we're going to work out where we're going to put the sensors. Now, you probably see these in the video. There's actually some undrilled places where the factory sensors would go, and we're not going to use those for a couple of reasons. Well, main reason is because I got the sensors on the cheap. They're not quite the right ones to do that. These are angled sensors, and if we put them in at the angle, they've also got an up and a down, so I don't know how relevant that is, but we're going to stick to the up and the down. So if we install it with the up in the factory location, then they pretty much point at the ceiling, which is not ideal. So we're actually going to mount it in the bumper. It's angled, so with our angle on there, it'll end up pointing straight. And the instructions also say you have to mount them 450 mm from the ground, and our factory sensors locations will be too low, so we're going to stick to around the 450 mark, end up on this angled part of the bumper. The 2 central sensors will go in line with the factory locations, and the 2 other sensors will go somewhere inboard of these reflectors. So I'm going to mark it up with masking tape and then go from there. So we're trying to get these corner ones fairly even on either side, so we're going to go probably 60 mm inboard. Right, so we've provisionally marked our doodads. Next we need to look under the bumper, make sure there's no big bits of metal in the way, make sure it's a good location for those. Then we'll have a look from afar, make sure all these marks look nice and even. We'll do some measuring, just to double check it's not going to look cockeyed. Right, so we marked them up. Next we just need to double check they're all the same height, so it's hard to tell visually. So all I've got this handy jack handle, and the pin on the jack handle just happens to be pretty much bang on the perfect height, so we can check them nice and easily. So we can see that one lines up nicely, that one lines up nicely, pretty much spot on. This end one just needs to come down a touch. Just redraw our line a wee bit lower. Spot on. Spot on. Spot on. Perfect. Alright, now looking under the car, that bright area I'm lighting up there, that's the whole back of the bumper. It's a bit hard to film, but there's absolutely nothing in the way, so we've just got nice open bumper spaces. We're not going to hit anything if we drill, so it should be pretty good. Right, so we've measured up. We know all the holes are in the right place, there's nothing behind them. So next, the kind of bit you're all looking forward to, drilling into our shiny bumper. So we're going to use one of these hole saws. This one's a 21mm, which is the right size for our sensors. Now Xvision do sell their own drilling tool, but it was as much as a set of sensors, so this is just a eBay jobby. It's only going to drill 4 holes, should be good enough. It's only going for a bit of plastic. So there's no going back after this. Once we've drilled those holes, if they're in the wrong place, we're screwed. But measured 2 or 3 times, so hopefully we only have to cut once. So let's get going. That was a pretty easy cut there. Tape out of the way. Looks alright to me. Nice and smooth. So we've drilled 1 hole, we'll test fit 1 sensor, make sure that's going to work. So that's our, whatever one that is. This will be our right sensor. Remember, we've got our up and down arrows, so shit, that looks alright. So yeah, black sensors on a black body look pretty good. Oh well, happy with that. So I'll get on and do the other 3, and hopefully they look just as good. Last one. Feels like drilling into a flipping World War II bomb or something. It's kind of not a big fan of drilling holes in the car. But it's done. So we'll tidy those up and pop the sensors in. That's the corner right. to the left. Well, so that's the visible part of the install, and that's gone pretty well. Right, so next we need to work out which one's our reverse light. Now we've got these fancy lights on the Mondeo, so I'll go and put it in reverse and see which lights light up. Right, so annoyingly it's these lights on the tailgate, so we've got to try and get to the wiring of those. Which obviously is a little bit harder than if we're in the door, so we've got the wiring line that comes up and out of here and drops down into the body, so we're probably going to have to drop the head lining and find a way to trace the wire back to a place where we can get to it and cut into it, because the sensors run off the reversing light. That's where it gets its power from, so that's what we need to tap into. So yeah, we'll see what we can work out and get that sorted. Right, so it turns out drilling holes in your car is the easy bit. The harder bit is trying to get the feed for the reverse light. So I'll show you. So I've taken a few bits of trim off. Looks worse than it is, but it's only a couple of torque screws and it all just pulls apart. But the feed for the reverse light runs up this left hand side, and there's a big green connector that lives behind that bit of trim, bit of carpet, and with my power probe, sponsored by Steve Robb, been trying to figure out which one the reverse light feed is. So at the moment just going to go through these. We've got nothing on that first one. Can you see this? Ow! So we've got a 15 pin connector here. Do my best to try and show you what's going on. 15 pin connector. I'll just kind of tone out. It's got nothing. 12 volts, nothing. 12 volts, nothing, earth, nothing, nothing. What we got? Probably a 5 volt reference. So if I now put it in reverse, so we had nothing, 12 volts, nothing, 12 volts. Now we've got a 12 volt there, so that must be our reverse light switch, which is on the bottom row, which is the one with 8. Counting from the right, obviously because we're Japanese. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th from the right, 4th from the left. Would appear to be our reverse light. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, what? Which is a brown and that? That's a brown and something coloured one, a green and brown wire. So we need to tap into that one, and Bob's your uncle. Right, so we can double check that that's our correct wire. If we use our power probe again, we can apply 12 volts. And our lights light up. So that's the right wire. Right, so that's our wire there, and now we need to kind of find a way to tap into it. So the way we're going to do it today, we're just going to remember, always cut away from yourself. Right, so with a knife we just kind of moved some of the insulation off. There's 100 different ways to tap into a wire. We're going for this one because obviously it doesn't change the length of the wire. This one stays intact, and then we're just going to solder the other one on and tape it up, and should be good as new. As we said before, we've got a black, a red and a blue wire for our power loom. Black and red are obvious, and now the blue one, I'll refer to the manual, it changes the zones. You can either tap it to ground or you tap it to positive, and it changes which zone you've got. So we're going to add our blue wire to positive, which gives us a 2 foot zone, because we've got a tow bar, so we want to take that into account. So we'll tap them together and solder them in. So first up, we're going to tin that wire with a little bit of solder. Get our red and blue, wrap around, if we're just doing a single wire, you could do a T-joint or something like that. I forget what it's called. It's years ago since I actually did this for a living. Well, this will be pretty strong. This is wrapped and soldered, then it'll be taped. Can you see that okay? Yes, that's nicely wrapped around there. Then we'll get our and there we go. Let that cool down a moment. There we go, we've got a super strong joint there. And next we'll kind of tape it up. There we go, good as new, super strong joint. Haven't messed too much with the factory wiring. Right, now the earth cable, a bit more straightforward. There's big earth already on the body, so we're just going to crimp on a doodah and stick it through the what's-it. Right, so after a bit of poking around, I found a good path for the cables to come into the body. So at the beginning I said I was thinking about using the existing tow bar wiring, but all of our electrics are on the other side, so we're going to go up through that side. Now, if we look underneath, so underneath I've popped out the cap on that hole there, and that leads into the body. So I'll just show you where it comes out at the top. So it actually comes out down that side there, so it's a bit fiddly to get through, but I've poked a spanner through the hole and that's where it's popped out, so we can feed the wires up and get them plugged in. Right, so we've got two cables. They're both marked with where they go. I don't know how important it is to kind of maintain all this, but we'll go with it. So we got right and corner right on that one, left and corner left on that one. So I'll unravel them, start feeding them, and show you how it looks. Alright, so there's our sensor. Then we've got the tow bar in the way, so I'll run the cables over the top of the tow bar, cable tie them all into place. You can see one more sensor along there, there'll be another one there somewhere. So yeah, get those plugged in and on to the next step. So there we go, cables are run, cable tie, and when we run out of tow bar to hide behind, I've put a little bit of split pipe conduit stuff, just because we're running a little bit close to the exhaust. Not that close, not too worried about it, but makes me feel a bit better that that's protected. So yeah, now I'll run it into the car, and all our wires are nicely tidy, cable tied, hanging out behind there. And next we need to mount our module. Put the bit of foam back in place. See, we've actually got a nice gap just behind there that's going to be ideal for our purposes. Right, so I've actually found a spare screw hole that's just sat there in about the right place, so that's what I'll use to connect it. Then we can plug in our cables, so the power goes in there. Now the two for the sensors, they need to go in the right holes. And we've just got the buzzer to plug in. So the buzzer's got its own sticky pad on. I'm not going to stick it on just yet, just get it all tested, then we'll find a good location for it, but there's plenty of cable. Right, so that's in there. Next I'll put all the trim back together and then we'll give her a test. There we go, we've got a factory looking parking sensor installed, colour coded and everything. So, alright, so we're all installed. Now let's see how she works. So let's pop it in reverse. We get a beep and we'll start going backwards. As you can see approximately not a lot out of the back window there. I'm just going to go until we hear some beeps. That's the first beep. Bit further. That's our second beep. Third beep. That's our solid, so let's go and see how close we are. That's not bad, that's as close as I want to get to anything, so yeah, job done. Awesome. So that was that, all installed, all working. Seems to work great. You can hear the buzzer at the right time. Looks pretty neat. Even got to use my Steve Rob sponsored Specialty Power Probe 2. Awesome. It's made my life nice and easy. So yeah, same principles apply to any car. You just need to tap into the reverse light, find the power for that, ground it somewhere, plug in some sensors, plug in the module, plug in the speaker, buzzer, and you're away. Looked like a high quality kit, the what are they called? Xvision parking systems. As I say, it's the one the Ford dealers used to use or still use. I got it off eBay. They seem to have like one kit left or something like that, so I got it pretty cheap. Beer of the day, Hagen Citrus, 2%, nice and refreshing. So yeah, thanks for watching, hope it helped. See you at the next one.